As Chamber Board Chair, if you would have asked me a couple weeks ago what I'm most looking forward to, it would have been coming out of COVID and helping our economy get back to normal. However, with the resurgence and the new variant, that's changed a little bit, but that's not stopping us as a chamber. We're going to keep going, we're going to keep fighting, we're going to look for thoughtful solutions for workforce. We're going to make real change or give it our best effort to increase public safety and security because our community members matter. And in order to have that sense of place and being and really feel a strong sense of community, we've got to rally together. If you look at the staff, if you look at the board members, and most importantly the membership, everyone cares. Everyone wants to be part of a community, and the Chamber helps get that done, and we can make it thrive, but we have to stay focused on our priorities.
It's important for residents to understand how they can impact a sense of place and a quality of life in Billings. That's a way for us to make sure that people who come into our community really understand that they're supported. If we think about previous generations and what we're experiencing and enjoying now, for us to be very strategic now, maybe a little bit risky for some, but for us to make sure that we're making a priority of the future, that's what's going to make sure that people want to live here, that we want to stay here.
Obviously, the market in Billings is crazy right now, and none of us could have predicted for it to be like this. The good news is we still have people moving into Billings. The challenge is, where are we going to put them? So Billings just needs to think really carefully as a community about a growth plan, and then how are we going to utilize our core resources. So we as a community should be thinking about how do we provide some incentive to do some infill and develop housing that's, in buildings that are already here. New construction is going to continue to be pretty expensive and cost prohibitive for first-time home buyers, so we just need to get creative.
I moved alone first in March, and then my family came after the kids were done with school. The work-life balance life is what we were looking for, and after interviewing so many people in the process of getting this job, I was able to make that determination that Billings would be able to offer. I can tell you that our local healthcare community rivals with the best in our country. The medical corridor, in my opinion, and for the future growth of Billings, can't be isolated on just 27th Street. We need to look beyond downtown as a medical corridor and go on the outskirts of Billings because there's a lot of growth happening.
William, where are you from in Florida?
Jacksonville, Florida.
Jacksonville.
Yes.
Okay.
An hour north of where I'm from.
There you go.
906, 904 right here.
Okay.
I think that's the one thing that I really appreciate about my networking experiences with the Chamber is that David and I don't meet if it's not for the Chamber, right? We lived an hour away for quite a long time in our lives, but we come out here and we meet. So I think these connections, right, back to that word again, become really important because now we have a deeper connection because of it.
The Chamber provides a way that anybody from any industry, any background can come together, connect, and find ways to improve the overall quality of life here in town.
We have to figure out how to create a connection outside of our own community and connect with those individuals and progressive leaders that we want to be, a part of. We have to explore our native community. We have to explore the Hispanic population is the second fastest leading growing population in Montana. How are we exploring that? How are we taking advantage of those opportunities and connecting with those communities? So I think if we do more of that stuff that's outside of the box of our normal training, I think we have an opportunity to actually grow and retain qualified employees.
The largest workforce are the millennials, and if we in our community of Billings want to see where the direction will go and where our community will go, we need to look and include these millennials because they are the leaders of our community moving forward.
In the last 18 months or so, the Chamber has put together a Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Board. They're putting together some really awesome tools right now. They have a website that's coming up with tools and resources for new people that's coming to town. So I think those things are going to help with that as well. We have a social responsibility, and the Chamber has taken the steps to make sure that social responsibility is met. With regards to connections, collaborations, retaining employees, I think that piece is really important, and I think it should be at the forefront of what we're talking about. We have a social responsibility.
Part of the issue and perception I see in downtown is quite honestly business owners, that they have to be responsible for their property 24 hours a day. Most people don't understand What's going to prevent people from hanging out at my building? Increasing our lighting, mitigating the shrubbery, trying to make it safe and the perception of safe. Anytime you can improve your property, and quite honestly, as a business owner, I get 50% of it paid for, up to $3,000. To me, why not take advantage? The return on investment's huge. The other area I think in which the Chamber can help and has helped is the education. If I live on the West End in a residential section and I don't see the homeless issue, if I don't see the mental health issues, then I go, well, why do we need this?
What we know is a safe community is an economically strong community. Unfortunately, a lot of the business owners see the effects of uncontrolled addiction or mental illness. It negatively affects their business. Substance Abuse Connect has been a very good partner in looking at solutions to address the mental illness and the addiction that is happening within our community. But moreover, we need the partnership of our police, our firemen, our emergency medical responders. Everybody has to work together to make sure that we're in concert as we go forward looking for the solution.
The number one area that matters the most, bar none, is your local elections. That is the community, that's where you live. If you can't get that right, nothing else matters.
The Chamber's getting much more active in local politics in a few ways. First off, we're trying to identify good candidates. We're making sure that not only our business community, but the community as a whole has access through them, whether sharing that information of what they support or what they don't, through candidate forums. And then we're also doing some candidate evaluations ourselves, understanding, what are the priorities that are important to the Chamber, how do those line up with our candidates, and then maybe even throwing our support behind those that we believe are really strong contenders and that we believe could change the dial in Billings.
Well, Jeremy, as you know, metaphorically and literally, I wear a lot of hats. I work on ag policy, public policy, business policy, and I'm amazed at how that input of all those different issues works through the Chamber. I can't see all that's needed to make this community incredible, but the Chamber does, and then connecting that through the candidate forums and through the endorsement process, it really comes together. And if we don't keep addressing the needs of public safety, of quality of life, and all the above, the Chamber priorities, we're not going to have this amazing community. So this is so critical for those of you that are considering running. I hope you would, because that's the difference in making this community incredible.
Largely, we're getting all of our information from our members. We survey constantly, we're listening to what our members want, so we're not operating in a vacuum. This isn't just the Chamber as an organization that's endorsing or throwing support behind. This is truly what the business community is telling us that they want. It's important to them by and large, and I think that's important that we listen to our membership.
We're gonna have tough conversations in the year ahead, but let's not get to our corners and duke it out, but let's come together in the forums that the policy and people matter provide, bring those together, have those conversations, and let's make it happen with these votes and these policies that are needing to be worked on.
Tourism provides our community so much. It provides an incredible source of revenue. It provides infrastructure. It leads to thousands of jobs. And at the end of the day, it brings vibrance and it brings diversity to our community. So we have to be on the front lines of that to bring all of that to Billings. And if we don't, we're going to lose out and we're going to fall behind the mark. And I don't think that's something that any of us want.
It's definitely been an interesting time for travel these past couple years. When COVID brought people indoors for so long, what we're seeing is people seeking outdoor-oriented vacations, places with less density, less crowds, like Montana. Also, as people are hesitant about air travel or other traditional forms of vacation, road trips have surged in popularity. Billings is so well positioned to take advantage of all of these trends with our access to the outdoors, wide open spaces, and our small population. We're very attractive to people coming from urban centers that are looking to escape the cities and want access to those outdoor recreation opportunities. People interested in that type of travel is shifting younger. More millennials, more Gen Z, and also what's exciting is more diversity. We've seen dramatic increases in underrepresented communities, people of color, coming to the parks, and that's great for us because then we can bring those people and introduce them to Billings. But what we've seen in COVID through our research is that more and more people are just wanting to travel close to home. And Billings has so much to offer. the residents of Montana, Wyoming, and the Dakotas, that we should continue to tap into those sources as well.
Speaking of local travel, in-state travel in Montana is huge, something to the tune of $300 million in Yellowstone County alone. That is obviously something that we can't just look away from. Destination management, I think, is key. Basically, what that's going to allow to happen is community buy-in. It's going to give everybody a voice at the table. The local citizens get the cultural attractions, the chamber, everybody at one table to come up with out-of-the-box ideas, different ways we can attract people to this town. And if we get that buy-in, everyone's going to believe in it and obviously push that even harder.
We are a catalyst for community growth and business growth. And there are opportunities and I guess a requirement for those members who want to see change in their community to get involved. And more than ever now, I think just not the engagement in a committee or in an activity or an initiative, it's just us as residents of Billings doing our part to make sure that new residents are feeling welcome, that we are working together to solve problems, and we are approaching our local elected leaders and others in a way that is solutions-based, and just simply get involved in issues that are passionate to you.